Hey guys, I'm Mama Bear to Many, and I planned this day to make a grand plan of chicken, right? So I had like all this chicken that I had taken out the night before, and I had grand plans for all these things. But then life happened, and our pig ended up having piglets, which is going to be coming up in an upcoming video. You might have seen a little short that we did to have fun. But I have an upcoming video with some homesteading stuff for the fall, and that will be included in that. So also this day I had like grand plans for this chicken, and I was going to do all this, and it didn't work out that way. But I am so thankful because my daughter, she ended up taking over a couple of these meals, and then I did the last two meals as I came in that evening. So I got all together, we got four separate meals together. So I will show you those separate meals now. So we're going to do a bunch of chicken meals today. Everyone's kind of working together to do this because I had planned to do this for a video for you guys, and we have some other things going on with cows, which you'll see in another video. But these are from our chickens. They are bone-in thighs. So she's taking the bone out and putting the thigh in there, and then the bone is here. So this will make two different things. We're going to be taking the bones after and boiling the meat off of that, and then using the broth for a separate recipe. You'll see what we're going to do with that. And then we're going to use this to make two different recipes. We are going to be making keto orange chicken and keto cracked chicken. So let's do that. Okay, so now she just has those chicken thighs that are in like kind of chunky pieces, and then she's dunking them in an egg wash. And then we have some of those pork rinds just all grinded up from the grinder and coating those like that. And then she's just frying them in the pan like this. Alright, so I forgot to video the sauce separately, but in the sauce that is over the cooked chicken that we did, I did this recipe times 4, but I'll single out the recipe. For 1 pound of meat, it is 1 tablespoon avocado oil, 2 cloves of garlic, half a cup of coconut aminos, 1/4 cup of white wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons orange zest or juice. We used orange juice. 2 tablespoons Bestie powdered monk fruit. That's like the sugar that we used, and half a teaspoon of ground ginger. So I did the recipe times 4 because we have 4 pounds of meat here, which is one's going to go in the freezer and one's going to be for supper. But I read that off as in a single ingredient for 1 pound of meat. So these chicken, they're boneless, skinless chicken thighs from chickens that we raised ourselves. I am just browning either side of them. They have some salt, pepper, and a little garlic powder on top or mixed in with them, and I'm just browning either side and then putting them in this dish. Alright, so both sides of the chickens are seared and they're put in these aluminum pans, so we're going to start layering it up. We also did some bacon bits in here, and then we poured the bacon grease over the top of the chicken. And now we're going to start layering it up. Alright, so in this bowl to go with those chickens that I'm working on, it's keto cracked chicken. In this bowl is mixed up 16 ounces of cream cheese, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of celery salt, and 1 teaspoon of dried dill. And we're going to layer this on top of the seared chicken meat over here. Okay, so there is that cream cheese spread. I spread it the best I can, but as you all know, cream cheese is not very spreadable. Basically, just make sure that the cream cheese is on a little bit of each of the breasts. And now we're going to sprinkle shredded cheese on top of this. Alright, so the cheese is layered up on top of these. A little bit of a recap. So there are seared, it's supposed to be chicken breasts, but we have boneless, skinless chicken thighs from our chickens, and yes, we boned and skinned them ourselves. So those are seared on the bottom, and then we have bacon bits with the juice poured on top, and then that cream cheese filling that we put in there, and then the cheese is on top. And then these would go in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes until the cheese is melted and the chicken is the rest of the way cooked through. So these are awesome keto Can't even see anything. These are keto crack chicken, and they are going in the freezer, but they are a low carb friendly meal. Okay, told you it was crazy. So I ended up taking a video before of what I was doing and explaining on how you can just use quick and easy things instead of in a pickle if you need to, rather than making a whole recipe up or whatever. I had a whole recipe planned out for both of the drumsticks, and I decided because the day was crazy that I was going to do something different, and you guys can do the same exact thing. So I found some really cool things lately. This is sugar-free barbecue sauce. This has 2 carbs per serving. Just sit in the barbecue sauce aisle. There's these, and then there's like one other. I think Primal Kitchen usually has some too. But this was a bigger bottle for the price that it was, and it looked, there's sweet and spicy, and then there's one other, but not all of this is actually low carb, so make sure you're looking at the back of it. So I did half a bottle of this per bag of drumsticks, so I used 1 bottle of that and then 1 bottle of this. We had these come in honey Dijon, sweet vinaigrette, and or at our grocery store, and creamy Italian. And so we just did half a bottle of this in each bag as well. And here they are. Okay, so here they are all bagged up, and I'm just gonna pop them in the freezer.